All right. Hi. I'm back to do another reading for you guys. Yay. I can really feel you guys with me today, which is kind of funny because I filmed this before I even like you guys don't see it until much later, but I can feel your energies all like getting excited and like yeah, as I was prepping my cards and because I lay everything out so that I've got everything ready to access if I need it. And I was getting these little cards ready and out popped the tribe right away. It honestly did like this like little flip. It was awesome. And it's funny because, it's been a minute since I've posted last. And so I get a little bit of jitters to like, all right, gonna do this. And that just set me completely at ease, knowing like, you guys are here and we're doing this together. And it feels really good to meet in this kind of mystical, magical, liminal space. I love that. So, yeah, what's going on this week? Well, we've got summer solstice is happening on Thursday, the 20th. And then right afterwards, on Friday, is the full moon. So we've got just, when I really tune into that kind of energy, it feels like a, rebalancing, comeback, like all this fragmentation come back because we need to do that a lot. I mean, it's not a once in a while thing. I think that's why these themes are so repetitious, is because we live in this fragmented kind of space, and then all these different activations and cosmic alignments, and even just the change of seasons, and it just pulls us back straight back into, heart space, soul alignment, all of that. So here we are again, doing that again. And I don't normally pull cards ahead of time, but I really love these the cards by, I can't remember her name off the top of my head. By her, by Kim Kranz. I really love her. Her art style is a little jarring. However, I really feel like the magic that she tunes into goes deep. And so I get a lot out of her cards. And I just bought, not just, a few months ago, bought her Alchemy deck. But her decks are huge, huge. And so they hardly fit in my hand. I have a small hand. And so I trimmed these, yet they're still too big to shuffle. But the corners are really, really sharp. And I was like, I can't really pull these with you guys because it doesn't feel good. When things don't feel good, I just don't do them. And that's one of those things. So I need to trim down the cards so that they're gentler to hold. However, along with, so, like I do, getting all the cards ready, out popped this one, the sun's splendor. I reading it phonetically, splendor. Um, yeah, the sun's splendor, which I thought was just beautiful. And I left actually, so it's funny because I put it away. And then, I was looking at the deck and thinking, well, I kind of wanted to pull one. So I like practice shuffling, and it's just so ouchy. These corners are really painful. So I was like, nope. And it popped out again. So I know that this card needs to be here for the reading. So zoom up to just moments before I push record. And this card was like, we're going to talk to the sun today. That's what the theme is. We're talking to the sun today. So here we are with the sun's splendor, and I just love I just love the I guess the word is juxtaposition, or the two opposites combining of the black and white, stark, like almost lifeless, yet it's flowers. It's a little ironic. And then this rainbow kind of, but it's also black and white, which I think is interesting. But then the sun, this golden sun coming up and then illuminating all these gems. It's almost like, the sun is being reborn. And I feel like right now with the summer solstice, at least for us, winter solstice might have a different feel of perhaps all of this is setting, and things are becoming more quiet for my winter folks. But for us summer folks, this is all coming back to life. We're going into like full summer mode, and everything. I'm so excited to have fruit back. Like, I mean, we get really good produce here in California, but there's nothing like when it's in season. And so I absolutely love when the seasonal not raspberries, blackberries and apricots and plums, when those are in season. So it's like those things are coming back online, and we can really nurture ourselves literally, if we're talking fruit, with the sun. I mean, fruit is like liquid sunshine. It absorbs all of the sun into the leaves, into the fruit. You are literally eating sunshine. I love it. So, all right, I get all excited. Yeah, so here we are with this beautiful big week and talking to the sun. So let's just go for it. Let's see what is going on with the sunshine right now. I mean, I consider everything to be alive. The cosmos is alive. Those stones, just everything has its own consciousness to a certain degree of our awareness. And it's just a matter of, you know, using your imagination and talking to it as if you would to a friend. So we're going to use our imaginations, which is not fake, by the way. Imagination is very real. That's you co-creating with the universe when you use your imagination. So we're going to use our imaginations today to talk to the sun. So let's just go ahead. Let's just imagine it out there, anchoring so much of our awareness. Our life is so anchored by the sun. Everything we know twirls around it with a very steady, regular rhythm. Here it is. Here it is. Oh, it. It literally says imagine. Imagine. So we've got the sun hanging out with us, imagining with us. We are co-creating with the sun. It just brings me to tears almost, where I'm like, this stuff, you can't make this up. We did make this up. We made this up on the spot, and it wasn't not real. It was something other than real. So imagine. What I also love is that there's a little moon hanging out. Look at that, the little moon hanging out. Let's see. And it's hard to see. Oh, guys, one of these days we'll have a better camera for everyone to look. Ta-da! Do you see the little dude? There's a cloaked person down in these rays, in these imaginal rays, and it's delicately pulling down the little um coil curl of the bottom of the moon. I just love it. So what I'm really feeling from that is that, okay, we've got the sun, we've got the moon. The moon is going to be bright and full the very next day after the solstice. It is gathering up all of the sun's information, and the moon, all it can do is reflect all of that. And so we're getting like double absorption of what the sun is literally shining down on us. And I do feel like these different things within our reality, they shine their own light at us. And so each and every person that we interact with, in their own way, they're shining their light, whether we like that light or not. And some versions of that feel really good, getting radiated, and sometimes it actually literally feels like radiation. So sometimes you need to wear your hazmat suit, sometimes you can take it off and enjoy. So here we go with the sun. Now the sun is radiating constantly, and it's taking in information from the sun's travels. And the sun is in communication with the wider cosmos. And so it is constantly showering us with, obviously light, but information and wisdom that it has gathered on its travels. So here we are being bathed in the sunlight, and then the very next day, we're getting bathed in the reflection of the sunlight again. And so it's illuminating something for us in our regular day-to-day awareness, and it's illuminating something for us in our subconscious. So pay attention to your dreams. I bet dreams are going to be very activated if it's your intention. I really feel that when we just kind of mindlessly go about our day, and we don't put an intention on remembering dreams, then maybe we'll have one, but we'll just forget it. So put an intention out there to remember your solstice dream, because that one is actually going to be pretty profound. And it may not happen exactly at solstice. Maybe, I mean, pretty divine mystic if it does. But let's just say it happens this month. And that is, we just have to try to remember, oh yeah, I put an intention to remember my solstice dream. And my solstice dream happened 2 weeks later. That's absolutely perfectly okay. It's the dream that happens next after you set the intention. So pay attention to that one and see what it's illuminating from your like deep dream world, your subconscious, your I am presence. It's in there, and it's talking to you, and it's got stuff to say, because there's so much that is like coming back to life right now. And this is regardless of whether or not you're in wintertime or in summertime. Something is coming back into awareness. Something's coming back into, being able to work with it intentionally. And, this rebalancing of energy, right when we get to that point where we're like, with the sun and the moon doing the solstice alignment, so many of the ley lines on Earth are being activated at that point that it's activating our inner ley line. So it's like we come back into this kind of alignment, things, it's like a energetic chiropractor going, and then everything comes back into alignment. And then the very next moment, something that we weren't completely aware of, that something it was just slightly hard to put your finger on, becomes like, oh, got it. Snaps into some wisdom. And then, write it down. Write these people like to call it downloads, or just the moment that it alchemizes into wisdom. Write it down. Work with it. Talk to it. This is information that's really helping us get back onto our path. And it's interesting because when I'm in this space and I'm talking to you guys, I a little bit am not me. I'm not just Naomi in my little life doing my little things. I become all of us speaking. Like it's almost like it is definitely channeling, the entire crowd. But, then when I flick off the camera and I go back into my regular life, I just become me again. And I also have to do the work. And man, lately I've been really fumbling hard. Like it's hard to stay motivated. It's hard to remember. It's hard to uh sometimes it's hard to just like all the fragments of energy um to actually allow them to settle because as they're settling more come in. It's just kind of what's going on these days. There's just so much frenzy in the air. It's a little hard to it's discombobulating. So it's really, really important to carve out some space for you to have some silence away from the cacophony of, because we're all sensitive beings here. You would not be listening to this and you wouldn't have gotten this far into me rattling on if you weren't a very sensitive, magical, sweet, incredible, mystical soul. And um, yeah, so I feel you. Like, yeah, take some time to clear out humanity's clutter. And you don't have to work at that. You just decide. You just decide it's my time now and give yourself that space. And I really feel like that is something that's needed this solstice is taking a little time out. Um, if you have a chance to, make a little mini vacation for yourself or big vacation. I don't go big. I don't tell me where you go. I'm not jealous or anything. I'm actually going to go on a little mini vacation. Thank goodness. Because it's time to break free from oh, look at this. Look at this. As I'm talking about mini vacations, guess what pops up? Money. And perhaps like, the idea of vacation instantly is like conjures up ideas of like, oh, I can't afford it, or where's the money going to come from for me to go to Bali? Well, look at how the sun, it's literally like cha-ching coming out of the sun. I love this. The sun is energy. Money is energy. And so right now, what's being activated is this ability to come from your source because everybody has that little wellspring that keeps them alive. That wellspring is your quantum connection to source. Like you are a source being. And so when we actually tap into our sun, our inner sun, that that wellspring that's just infinitely, constantly radiating our light and just shining without ever exhausting itself, because the sun never turns off, ever. I mean, they do say that at some point the sun will fade. And I'm very curious to know what exactly happens on more of a mystical level when the sun decides to fade. Because I think that it's because it's a physical being and we're physical beings with a physical lifespan. But our soul is infinite. So the sun, that's that's a much longer conversation. But do you feel me with that? Like The sun just has a longer lifespan than us, but its soul is also infinite. So anyway, back to this, is that this is just continuing to like gush this spring of energy. And it's really your choice to manifest that into money, literal money, so you can use it to pay bills and go on vacation and eat good food and, like fill our lives with the necessities that money can bring. And like actually allow it, because sometimes we say, oh no, I don't have enough, but then we're actually like guillotining the wellspring that is supplying us with this like infinite amount, because there's really an infinite amount of energy. It's just a matter of us, you know allowing it to come into our lives in a real way. So with this sun. And man, I don't know if you can feel like talking to the sun generates a lot of heat. So I'm literally sweating right now. Can you see this? I am sweating. It's also hot in this room, but it's like, yeah, it kicked up many degrees hotter since I started talking to the sun. So the sun is saying all you have to do is just allow this. And it's not work to allow. Allowing is simply just dropping the guard, feeling the moment, and saying, I allow my abundance to flow to me. I allow this energy. And this, maybe money is not an issue for you. Maybe for you, this is in terms of actual energy and feeling your vitality come back, your health, your well being. Allow that, because you default setting, and I'm not talking about birth, DNA, karma setting. I'm talking about your soul's actual truth is that you are an infinite source of just, you are so much than you think you are. Yes, you are. And so all you have to do is just like drop all of the falseness, all the work, all the hardship. Just drop it. Drop those bags. Those bags aren't yours. And then allow what's truly you to come forward. Future self again. So here we got the sun, very much sunshine everywhere. So we've got that future self. And I love what happens here with the tribe. I think all of us are very much in communication with our wisdom, our soul self, and our future self that has already like gone through these different obstacles, and it's here to hold our hand. And I actually see this as like, we're still talking to the sun, so it's like here we are with the sun actually like reaching its hand out. In If you take a look at ancient Egyptian art, there is one picture, actually, this is several of these depictions, but there was one in particular that was just so striking, with the sun has many, many little hands reaching its light down, but in terms of little hands, down to, I think it was probably the pharaoh Akhenaten. But he's sitting there with his hands, and they're always like side, like this. And so he's like going like this, and the sun is going like this. And it's like befriending the sun, actually taking the sunlight, holding it in your hand, lovingly, tenderly, like a friend. And, really just being in communication with the light source. Um, I think, you know, this is very, very esoteric and very mystical, but we see the sun outside shining. However, it really is just a manifestation of what's already in here. So I feel like I need to make a bazillion videos just on esoteric stuff, because that one dives down deep into a rabbit hole of everything that we see is actually just us. And it's so much more than that, because it's fractals and different layers of ensouled beings. Anyway, that's that's a lot. That's a lot to unpack in a little tiny video like this. But here we have the sun befriending us, and we have the opportunity to also allow that friendship to come in and to actually like return the favor, I guess, like give love back. And so it's like that's just like a reciprocal, beautiful thing that happens between us. Look at all the twinkly magic that's happening. I just love it. I love it. Yeah. Okay. And so now I feel like pulling one of these. These are so cool. This reading's probably going to be long, guys. I hope you have a cup of tea. Hey, look at what was at the bottom. What was at the bottom of the deck? Sun Bear. Okay, we gotta leave him. I didn't actually pick Sun Bear, but he's hiding out at the bottom of the deck, and I love Sun Bear. Sun Bear is awesome. In fact, we've got Sekhmet up here. So we're just gonna have Sekhmet hang out with Sun Bear for all of us. Sekhmet's cool with that. I think they're friends. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull from the lovely Dreamscape Oracle. It's so beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. And look, it's got a moon on the back. Hey, anybody out there working with the architect? I know some of you have this deck. And I know that the architect comes out. Whoa, again. Oh, look at this. Okay, I know that the architect comes out a lot. Look at what's happening here. The Luna moth. So we've got a little, what's the word that's coming to mind? A little shout out, a little hello from the moon. I like this. And so specifically the Luna moth. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and read from the little book to see if it has anything nice to say about the Luna moth. I don't know how it's organized in here. Once in a while, I would love things to just be alphabetical. That way I can find it. Okay, Luna moth. So a Luna moth lives for only a short time. Within that period, they mate, eat, and then die, only to have their offspring carry on their legacy. Their unique coloring attracts much interest. Their wings appear to glow. They have circles that look like the moons on them. Some cultures associate the Luna moth with a symbol of transformation and change. Other cultures suggest the Luna moth represents a person's soul as it leaves its body. No matter where you place the Luna moth's spiritual virtue, it is a stunning specimen of Latin here. Lepidoptera. So yeah, transforming your habits. So basically taking charge of your habits, deciding which habits you want to keep and which you want to break. And I think that really feels appropriate with all of this rebalancing, imagining, coming back into our connection with our shiny self. Is like, what habits do you want to keep, and which habits are transforming with the light of the, again, with the full moon happening right after. The moon is in constant change. It's the fastest changing object we have. She changes clothes every single day. And so she helps us morph and change our habits. If we actually you know change a habit along with the moon cycle, working with each sign that it moves in, and kind of like using that to catalyze whatever habit you're changing, it happens in the 28 days, because once the new moon hits, that habit actually really does get to hit the refresher, and you get to decide whether or not you want to keep it or not. It's a really brilliant way for us to use psychology and the support of the cosmos in changing whatever it is that we are struggling with. Like, yeah. So let's see. I like that. The Luna moth, the sun bear. Just for kicks, let's read the sun bear. Sun bear. So sun bear lives predominantly in Southeast Asia, where they prefer to spend most of their time watching from trees. The distinctive gold chest patch reflects the warmth and life of our sun. The sun bear is considered the embodiment of spiritual power and strength. Their intuition and self-reflection help one heal through harmony and balance. Mm. Restoring harmony, balance, heal. So many cultures actually talk about the bear being the great healer. I love that. Thank you, Sun Bear. Oh, let's just do one last card. One last card. Talking to the sun. We're pulling from the Starseed Oracle. One last message from the sun. Okay, that's way too many cards. Way too many cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. No, that's too many cards. Okay, I'm gonna ask the sun to tone down the message, be a little bit more concise with the message. Bring me a focal point. Ah, here we go. Ah, one card. Your life is a canvas. So beautiful. Artist, manifestation, creative accountability, and that in tune with imagine. So the full moon is like the culmination of, like, the moon starts all dark. It's a little seed planted in the soil. The little roots are growing. And then all of a sudden it like grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. And then full moon, it's like bursting with flowers and the seeds are about to begin germinating. And then the cycle goes back. And so the full moon is that like bang, like the showy, yeah, I can't even celebration. It's celebration mode. So what I'm feeling with this is that it really is a time to like celebrate how much imagination we're pouring into our life. Like, what do we want to imagine for our next go around? What do we want to create on our canvas in our whole, it's our life canvas, but what if you actually do like a little mini canvas and actually paint your dreams? Yeah. What would you paint on the canvas of your life? And so seeing this from the sun's angle, I kind of see this little person here, like just shining, that we're also part of the sun's imagination. I've got like a hair keeps tickling me. I don't know where it is, but it's distracting. I have hair. There it is. Found it. Bye. Distraction free now. All right. I can carry on with the sun's message. Do you think the sun gets distracted? Yeah, with all those solar flares where it suddenly like has an itch and it's like, ah, and then a solar flare. I don't know. Have you ever imagined what it's like to be the sun? Well, here we have, yeah. Anyway, just imagine for a minute. I think it's actually kind of cool to have like a little change of perspective. And that the sun shining all, just like radiating its light down, and we're all these little people doing little people things, and from way up there, it's totally different life. Anyway, yeah. So using this solstice to actually maybe get a fresh start on the canvas, or maybe finish something that you have been painting onto your life's canvas. Is there something that you're ready to complete? Is there something that's like, I feel really good about making that, like it happened. It's done. So, yeah, I think with that, we're going to wrap up the reading. I really love this reading. Oh, you know what? I'm just, it's like ding, 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 little cards. Um, these guys, I felt very called to making kind of like a little medicine for the tribe for this solstice full moon. So I pull from these guys, inner wise, and what happens with these is that each of these little tiny little cards, they all look exactly the same, but they have a number on them, and each number correlates to some kind of medicine. It's a homeopathy, it could be a flower essence, it could be a plant, a flower, some kind of mineral. Anyway, there's hundreds of them in this little bag. It says, follow your heart. So I'm going to go ahead and pull 3. And this is medicine for, like, basically when we pool all of our energies, we make like a giant Venn diagram, or I guess for us, it would end up becoming like the flower of life. In that center, we all have something in common that we could really use some medicine around this time. So let's go ahead and do that, like a little impromptu healing. So just tuning in to, even you don't have to know. In fact, most likely you don't know what you need, and your soul does. So it's just asking your soul, what do I need right now? And then out comes 1, 2, and 3. So we've got the cards numbered 22, 156, and 20. So let's go ahead and see. 22. I'm not going to go too into this. I'm just going to let it be what it is. And I will have them stacked up here next to Sun Bear and Sekhmet. And we all know, go ahead, do your research on Sekhmet. She's cool. Sekhmet is one of the manifestations of the sun. She like wears the sun disk. There's many different stories about her, but anyway, she's a little fractal. She carries the sun. It's an important part of her mythology and her energy. So here we have 22, and this is oak. So we've got the medicine of the oak. Wow, and that is very strong. Oak wood is very strong, and some oaks get incredibly old. And around here, we have these beautiful gnarled oaks that really turn into little playgrounds. So they encourage play, strength through your childlike wonder. But it says, I live for myself and not just for others. My life is complete. My life is beautiful. So basically, not being a martyr, not just doing everything for others at the expense of yourself. Doing things for others is beautiful and wonderful when your cup is full. So Oak is encouraging you to fill your cup first before just draining every last drop for everyone around you, and then you are sitting there starved. Don't do that to yourself. Don't starve yourself. So Oak is going to hang out here. There we go. Next card, we've got 20th, the 20th. 20. Oh, the 20th is the solstice. Haha. Synchronicity. Mimulus. So I no longer need to hide. I can express my power and my creativity. Yes. Express your creativity. So that was Mimulus, and that is a flower. You can actually get all of these as flower essences. These are under Bach flower essences, but I am not like I'm not sponsored or anything, but I love star essences. That was my flower essence teacher. And or honestly, you can actually get these essences from me because I actually have pretty much all of these. I made oak essence myself from my oak tree in the back, who I have talked to, and my altar is actually right next to it. So the oak tree. So yeah, you can actually get these essences from me. Mhm. And then 156, I don't have like a big old, it's just me putting them in a little bottle, but you know that it's straight from the heart if you get it like that. But I would, yeah. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the sign of the zodiac, Taurus. Oh, interesting. Taurus. So much of this, the solstice and all of this is happening very close to the star Aldebaran, which is in the sign of Taurus. Go check that out. Okay, Taurus, steadfastness, patience, the known. A Taurian likes to keep the people around them, their herd, together, defining and being aware of boundaries. Mm. So yeah, go ahead and take a peek at Taurus, or don't. Honestly, like this is soul medicine. The less you work at it, the better. And just kind of maybe even just like let that just wash over you, and just know that Sun Bear, Sekhmet, and the little medicines are just like they're gonna radiate some yumminess to you this solstice, so that ah this whole tribe just gets stronger and can thrive. Look at the little mama and the baby giraffe. Yeah. So coming back to strength and vitality, using your imagination to get you there. So I hope you have a beautiful, happy solstice and incredibly potent, yummy full moon, and that all of this feeds you in some way. So with that, the reading is finished, but I do want to just like have little conversation and ask people, because it was proposed to me through a dear friend and tribe member, to have a live stream, like a live card reading, or even just conversation. So if that actually sounds fun and inviting, I would love to hear from you if you guys would like a live reading time with me. I know I did that ages ago, and when I did, I don't think I'll do it at the same time because there were very few people that could actually make it. And so I want to make it more available. And so I'd probably do a live reading on like a weekend day where more people can actually join in if they're off, and yeah, actually make it so that it's more engaging because it's more fun when we got lots of people. So I would love to hear from you if that sounds fun, if that sounds interesting. and then go for it. And then maybe I pick a day and make it happen. So yeah. Uh, in terms of anything else going on, let's see. My daughter just went off to summer camp, so I've got some responsibility free time, and I really look forward to hearing all of her fun stories, to hear what she's getting up to there. It's a beautiful place up in Yosemite, and it's just gorgeous. And so I'm just a wee bit envious of being able to spend 3 weeks in Yosemite. So that's what's going on. And so in the time being, that means I'm going to be doing stuff that I normally don't get around to, which is honestly a lot of the buildup of chores and stuff that I have procrastinated, not wanted to handle, and also have some fun and go up to Lake Tahoe myself and have a little bit of relaxation time there with the husband and the doggy and have a good time. So that's it for me. I hope that everybody out there in the world is doing great. And I'm so happy that you decided to tune in with me. And I look forward to next time when we do this all again in some other way. So yeah, that's that. Love you guys. Till next time.